Hi my Troublesomes, it's Miracle and welcome back to my Miracle. I'm so happy you guys decided to join me today, and as you can see, this setup is completely different. I decided to get some air before I went ahead and filmed the nitty-gritty portion of this video, but as you can tell from the title, this is going to be a heavier subject matter than what I'm used to filming about. So this is a formal disclaimer. If you are triggered by concepts pertaining to this situation, please just see me in the next video, because I don't want to do anything that's going to make you uncomfortable or relive certain scenarios in your life that you're not ready to face. But for those who want to be informed and to understand, thank you for taking the time to click on this video. I hope that you are educated on this situation and you are able to make a decision for yourself whether or not you're going to continue to support the individuals that are involved with this story. I do apologize to anybody who thinks that I don't handle this in the way that they would see fit. And thank you guys for your continual support. If you learn anything from this, please share it. And I'm just thankful to you guys. So I love you guys, and here it goes.
If you could say anything to Dahvie Vanity right now, right here, Damien, what would you say?
You done goofed.
Jesus David Torres, formerly known as Dahvie Vanity, he's created a rather interesting name for himself throughout the years. This Myspace famous band member of Blood on the Dance Floor not only made a name for himself through his rather illicit music lyrics, but that actually carried on over into his personal life, where he's allegedly conducted some rather illicit relationships with minors as well. Dahvie's first formal encounter with the law that starts his rather long alleged history of assaulting minors began on September 13th, 2009, where he was arrested and charged with assault of a minor. The case was dropped, and unfortunately, since the case is sealed, we are neither able to confirm or refute the reason in which this case was dropped. During that time, Dahvie Vanity had already been in contact with 10-year-old Damien Leonard, who is formerly known as Jessi Slaughter. According to Damien, they met 24-year-old Dahvie on MySpace, and their friendship quickly turned into a relationship. Damien shares that their childhood friend ended up going behind their back and posting about the situation on a then popular gossip site called Sticky Drama. Post reads, Dahvie Vanity is at it again. He was apparently having a friends with benefits type of relationship with self-proclaimed scene queen Jessi Slaughter, who is only 11. I have also talked to other people who say that they did F last summer when she was 10.
And did you have any idea at the time how this would explode on the internet?
No. I was afraid that the police were going to get involved and that Dahvie was going to get arrested. So my first instinct was cover Dahvie's ass, cover my own ass, get angry at this girl. And it spiraled in a completely unexpected direction.
Spiraling out of control. Damien put it rather nicely. Her information ended up on 4chan, where she was doxxed and severely cyberbullied. Dahvie encouraged his fans to harass her and even made a song mocking her father's plea to end the harassment. The song was titled, You Done Goofed. And you're the cause for all this MF and BS. Regret meeting me as your last wish. My name and reputation won't be the target of a I'll be on top of the world and you'll be yourself. How is it possible that this man got away with so much while on tour without anyone seeing him? Questions on whether or not there were any witnesses were quickly laid to rest once individuals started to come forward. These individuals included J. Vaughn Monroe, who was an old band member of Blood on the Dance Floor. In an interview documented by Sputnik Music, when Jay ended up confronting the reason why he ended up leaving Blood on the Dance Floor, it revolves around the fact that Dahvie seemed to be a little bit controlling and abusive. In the process of him not being treated correctly as an employee and or band member, he was not getting paid, and his health ended up seeing a rapid decline because Dahvie was withholding medication allegedly. In addition to Jay, there was Ash Costello, vocalist from New Year's Day, who actually said that she was one of the victims. She ended up reporting this to the local authorities, and she ended up speaking in behalf of a couple of other victims. However, nothing came from that and no one seemed to believe her. In addition to Ash, an unlikely party was brought forth, and that was Jeffree Star, who also had a lot to share on Twitter. Being on tour with that child has made me see the truth. I regret ever doing a song with that pig. Rest in peace, cause you'll never be me. If you support that piece of, then unfollow me because you're supporting child. Dahvie is the lowest worthless scum I've ever met. I no longer support blood on the dance floor. And how disgusting Dahvie is. Touching and enjoying the attention is evil. F off, sicko. Much to the confusion and utter horror of the world, Jeffree Star actually ended up retracting his statement and ended up going on tour with Dahvie again just a year later. Many people are still confused as to what actually happened, and unfortunately, we may not even find out.
Okay, my Troublesomes, opinion time. So, I'm gonna have an honesty moment with you. I wasn't even sure that I was going to record this video. I didn't know whether or not I would actually be contributing to the dialogue in a way that was very informative of the situation. And then on top of that, I took a rather selfish approach, and I just wanted to avoid even causing myself to have any sort of feelings of remembrance of my story and many other people in my close circle, their story as well. I thought that the best way to handle this was just to speak from the heart. I don't think it's appropriate for me to mirror the outrage that is coming from a lot of people. As far as I feel about the Jeffree Star portion of it, you and I can speculate as much as we want to regarding the situation on what he may have known and what he may not have known. We don't know the full scope or details of what he may have seen or may not have seen. All we can do is speculate on the words that are being stated, and unless he shares his side of the story, I don't want to be a part of that dialogue. And the reason being is with every story that I talk about, I try to put myself in that position, because I want to hope that the reason why he retracted his statement was because he was informed or manipulated, or whatever the details are on the situation, or that it was a matter of fear and disgust. Because I personally, it's easy to tell somebody what to do in that scenario. It's easy to tell people to say something. It's really easy to tell people to run away. It's easy to tell people to stop when you're not in that position. But then when you're really there, what actually are you going to do? That's why they have those like TV programs on like Channel 7 with that John Quinones, what would you do kind of thing, because you really never know how you're going to react to something until you're put in that position. And I pray to God that none of you have to go through that, where you may know somebody who's been attacked, or you yourself have faced that, or you witness it. I don't know what that would do to me mentally, because I already know what it did to me to experience it myself, but to witness somebody to do it, somebody that you called your friend, I don't know what that does to somebody psychologically. And no, I'm not hinting out Jeffree to be a victim in this situation, but in some ways, shapes, or forms, you've been traumatized by that. You don't know what sort of PTSD that can do to anybody. And I'm not ever going to talk about how somebody chooses to cope with the situation. And I hope and I pray that he finds it in his heart one day, if it really did happen, that he witnessed it. I hope that he has the courage to be able to come forth and help those who have been living this. And a direct message to those who were saying this is back in 2000 and whatever, that pain, that doesn't go away without somebody facing it. And it also doesn't help victims to see that their attacker is being lifted up with high praise. And it's even more hurtful. You see, one of the biggest reasons why victims have a very difficult time going to authorities or speaking to somebody that they can trust is because oftentimes they are told or think that nobody is going to support them, that nobody is going to listen, that nobody is going to believe them. And oftentimes the first stage in dealing with things, coping, oftentimes is denial. You don't want to believe that happened to you. So please find it within your heart to stop blaming victims. Please stop. And to those who were directly or indirectly triggered by this man, or who were harmed by this man, I want to tell you that it's not your fault. It's never been your fault. And if you had the opportunity to avoid this, I'm sure you keep thinking in your head that I should have, would have, could have done something different. And I want you to know that it is not your fault that he is the way that he is disgusting, that he took advantage of you, that he did this. And to those who were assaulted by somebody else, it is never your fault. To any victim who's watching this, it is not your fault. And I'm so sorry that you went through this. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. If it means anything for you, just know that I have you in my prayers and my thoughts. There's ways that you can cope with it. There's a lot of forums where people join together to be able to talk about their situation, because sometimes releasing it, speaking your truth, at least if it doesn't do anything with your family and friends, it will do something for you. I don't know, I wish I had something more to offer to you guys, but I just want you to know that I'm really and deeply and truly sorry that you had to experience this in your life. And I hope that you one day come to a point in your life where you're able to move forward. But please, guys, just be patient with all those who are coming forward. Don't question why they took so long to say something, because I know that there's a lot of vile people out there who lie about these things, but don't treat every person who comes forward as a liar. But don't take the time to diminish somebody's story, or say that your situation is worse, or say that somebody's not taking their harm seriously because they've chosen to handle it in a way that you don't think is conducive for your way of life. So just be loving, check on your people, support them, and support yourself. That's really all I have to say, guys. I'm sorry that this video was so dark. I decided to do this outside because I didn't want to let my my mental space be weighed down by this scenario. I was gonna film this at home, but I figured for my own self-control that it would be a lot easier for me to handle this and speak about this outside. So that's my thoughts on that. I love you guys so much, and if anybody wants to have a conversation with me, you guys can reach out to me on Twitter. or just feel free to talk to each other in the comments, because I'm sure that with people sharing their stories, it will be of great encouragement to those who have gone through something. And please, if you do share your story, the one favor that I ask of you is to share one positive thing that made you smile today, because I want you guys to leave this video, even though it's so heavy, with something to smile about. Alright, so I love you guys so much, and I hope to see you guys next time. Alrighty, okay, bye.